important part. The random stop and search is an important part of the crime fighting exercise, indeed an important part of the Get the Guns campaign. I don't know how many guns they have gotten from the stop and search process. The law says they have to have good reason to pull you over and search you. A good reason would be they have information that a red Corvette was 2 hours ago involved in a drive-by shooting, and they stopped a red Corvette. If the information is that it is a red Corvette and you pull over a blue hatchback, then that's not good information. That's just stopping somebody randomly, which is not allowed.
Not allowed. Random stops and random searches, those are not allowed. I think we need to make the point for everybody to understand that in certain circumstances, the police can stop you. In fact, the police can arrest you without a warrant in certain circumstances. What is prohibited is the randomness. So, for instance, if we look under the Constabulary Force Act, which would be the first act that they would look under, they have power to search any person on board a ship or boat, provided he shall have good reason to suppose that the person has uncustomed goods. That is Section 17. Just summarize. Section 18 is if there is a suspicion and the officer can apprehend you without warrant. If there's a suspicion, the person is unknown, is known or suspected to be in unlawful possession of opium, ganja, etc. Then, Section 19, which is the section that I think they rely on, and the subhead is power to stop and search vehicle. But it speaks to stopping and searching the vehicle suspected of carrying stolen goods, ganja, etc. So the point I make is that there has to be good reason in the first place to stop you. Because the point that Mr. Justice Matt was making is that when you stop someone, you're interfering with their freedom of movement. And so that is the point he's making. So they do have the power to stop and search you, but only in defined circumstances.
Right. When you were stopped, your place
and it's still here. That's good.
Not smelling nothing, it's smelling here.
No, still my underarm was going like crap.
Still like crap.
Okay, so.
But you were stopped and searched. Your car seat. Did they, first of all, when you were stopped, did they say why they were stopping?
No, you know what happened? I was driving on Ashford. I saw the police doing a check. Don't and the clip turn left. So then, right, come out, stop. My son, the police always say when it's stopping, because it's somebody, why not the back? Hey, come on, you. I said, no, not that, you can't do that. Because first of all, you don't even ask them, you don't tell me good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good time of day. You don't even ask me if we realize if I am old and things. You can't do that.
Right. So they had guns drawn.
Guns, straight them. Young police trainer, because my son are like 20, something, couple of 20s. You understand? So when you see this people come out and share and tell you about, oh, you cannot talk to me and we can do anything. So I tell my son, I'm saying you can't search me. Because you don't have the right to search me, you tell people to see that. One of them tell me that when I say, oh, alright, you want to play tough, alright, we're going to play tough. Send one of them and kill my back seat. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I just play music. And matter of fact, say I just put out a new song with about stop investing in crime with teachers and Lucy and whatever, you hear that song. That's what I copy of that. I can tell you something. I don't know nonsense person. You understand? My father was a cop. Yeah? I'm a believer in the law. I'm a believer in the police.
The nephew who was in the back?
No, I'm a nephew right now in the police force. I'm not the police.
But you have some hooligan police. When you talk to them about them right, because them don't know. Or them just want profile. Them feel like everybody them can profile. No, I take it further than that because I went in the com. You understand? I have to went in the com. As you can see it in the paper here. You understand? So that under enough investigation, I went back home and I called control. And I tell control what happened and they say no, that is supposed to happen. Right? And I send my wife down there. And when by my wife reach down there, them drive off. Them gone.
They want to go there. But in the meantime, the vehicle was damaged and...
Yeah, man, but when I called them to Jamaica, my seat wouldn't kill was about 115,000. Them said it's going to go buy my seat.
Okay. So we're joined by the Attorney at Law, Adrian Christie, who in fact won a case against the police for, I guess, an illegal stop and search. Am I right, Adrian? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Simon.
Right, so you won your case on what basis?
Well, I wouldn't want to use the word won because it was a matter initially eventually settled around the time of the trial. Okay. And I can't really say what guided their decision to settle.
But was it you, the individual, who was stopped and searched?
Yes, it was very late evening, somewhere in the night along Harbour Street. It was a very dark road. There were lights along the way, but it was a very dark road. I was stopped, I pulled over, and I complied with the officer's request. They asked me to exit the vehicle. All the time I was done, I didn't know exactly what was going on, and then they made the request. I turned down the request. I did so politely because I am familiar with how some police officers, and I think it's important for us to remember this in this entire discussion that it's not all, and I don't even think it's a majority, but some police officers are when their authority is being challenged, their authority is being challenged. Upon turning them down, that's when things went awry. So they started to call control, saying that they wanted a record to come by. They started to act as if they were calling a record, and they were actually threats that I would be shot.
There were threats?
Yes. Let me not say threats, one threat that I would be shot.
On hearing that, what happened? But that would have changed my view.
Well, eventually it did, because when you consider that yes, you have a right and you are entitled to exercise that right and say no, you still have to balance it against the repercussions, even if the repercussions are not lawful. Because in addition to that, there was also a threat that I'd be arrested and I'd need to be detained. Now those circumstances, as we've learned recently, or as it has been brought to the floor again recently, the conditions in our prisons aren't fantastic. And that's not something we wish on anyone. So you have to balance at that time what is going to happen, whether it is lawful or not, and whether or not you'll be compensated for.
Yeah, but
you want to put yourself in that position. So on the direct, I essentially said, okay, you can go search the beach because I had nothing to hide.
Okay, we've got to take a break. The fact of the matter is we shouldn't have to compromise our rights or the fear of the people who are supposed to protect and serve us and ensure that those rights are maintained. However, it is what it is, and until that is sorted out, I think people have to think carefully when it comes to objecting to those that have big guns and can say you pulled out and gone all night or something. Take a break, come back in a minute.
Hello.
Hi.